Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Invin here, and today what I'm bringing to you guys is the January release notes patch 3, or the notes for the third part of this PTR patch note release series that they seem to be doing on the forums here for New World. Now, obviously, this is the update that is going to be dropping in around about a week's time here now, towards the end of January, and it's got some interesting things in, mainly relating to combat fixes, which I've been looking at. No specific things to do with weapons as of yet, but there is some interesting things to be aware of with this one. This one's probably going to be quite a quick video in comparison to the other ones, but I do just want to keep you all in the loop with what is happening on the PTR, and of course what will be happening when this is fully released, so we can all be ahead of the game together. So without further ado, if you're not already subscribed, please make sure that you do go down below, press the subscribe button. We are pushing very close to 13,000 subscribers, so your support with that would be absolutely much appreciated. And let's jump straight into this. So first thing here, we've got big fixes to desync in combat. They've fixed the desync when using shield bash. They've also fixed an issue that would occur when homing through the Ice Shower ability. Also, they have fixed desync on the Reap when fully upgraded with the Bloodlust passive. They've fixed some stuff with the Spear, fixed some stuff with the Void Gauntlet, and fixed some stuff with the Great Axe. So they should all be working as intended now. Kind of the things where you could get out of Baleful Tether by crouching or by proning has been fixed, which is a massive one there. So that is really good news. We've also seen some endgame changes, so they've fully confirmed into the system now that players will be able to upgrade individual gear pieces from 590 gear score to 625 by spending Umbral Shards. Note that we reduced this requirement from 600 gear score to 590 based on feedback and the desire to require legendary items to engage in the Umbral system. Makes a lot more sense in my opinion. You don't get that third perk if you do get an item from, say, 594 to 600. You will get the extra stat points, so if it's a weapon, you'll get the plus 30, or if it's a piece of armor, you'll get the plus 25, but you won't receive that third perk roll on the weapon. Now, the reason this is so important is because it does mean you can start to fully stock up on all of that good 590 gear and get the best set that you can from those until you can get your legendary best in slots, which I think is a really nice touch. And also, they've said to allow players more access to the Gypsum more freely as they acquire it. We've removed the crafting cooldowns on Gypsum Orbs, so essentially, you're just going to be able to craft as many Gypsum Orbs as soon as you have the Gypsum now, whenever, basically. So this is interesting. I don't know if this is the same for casts, so you may still have the crafting cooldown on casts, which means that you'd only be able to do one chest plate every 22 hours, for example. So that does seem like it's still there. It just says the Gypsum Orbs. But, for example, if you've got a stockpile like I had, about 6 or 7 at one point from the event, instead of skipping a day in order to craft that, you can actually just keep collecting them, and then you can go ahead and do this. Now, whether this will mean that we still are able to collect 2 Gypsum at once from the expeditions and, of course, the arenas, or whether that's going to be patched or fixed, or if it's going to be kept in as an intentional feature, we don't know yet. So again, I'll keep you guys updated with that one, but it might mean that you can do 2 per day on those as well, which would be very interesting. It means you can get much more of the bases covered. In fact, with this, you'll probably be able to craft more Gypsum Orbs per day than you can actually turn into casts for things that you need. So that could be an interesting touch. Also, we've seen here with Expedition Tuning Orbs, you've now got Expedition Tuning Orbs for all of the expeditions from the faction shop once per day, and Expedition Tuning Orbs for Genesis Lazarus can be purchased once per week. And then obviously the mutation ones are still going to be once per week at this point. To increase access to the expedition crafting, they've also made the following items now tradable, which is Blight Seeds, Corrupted Lodestones, Crystals, Fragment Shards and Slithers, and Chisels. Chisels is a very interesting one as well, because they've also reduced the price of this. The Star Metal ones are down to 150 from 200. Orichalcum Chisels are down to 200 from 400. Asmodeum Chisels are down to 250 from 500. So a big coin reduction there, which is really good. If somebody's got a big stockpile of money, then you can kind of get them to buy the chisels. You can trade that between yourself. If somebody else has got all the corrupted lodestones, for example, somebody else has got the blight seeds, you can combine those a lot more easily now and actually trade these so that you can make the keys a lot easier. I do like this change, and I do like that they've reduced the gold cost of these chisels, because I do think that was a bit of a money sink before. So really good changes. Also, with your Eternal, your Elemental, your Undying Hearts have all had the reduce of the motes, or the quintessences for the Undying there, reduced. So now Elemental and Eternal Hearts are 10 of each mote, down from 30, and Undying Hearts now cost 2 of each quintessence, down from 6, which is a big reduction on grinding as well, which is really good, and does make these expeditions a lot more accessible in terms of the crafting route. So that is good in my opinion. Dynasty Crafting Orb reduction of the amount of corrupted crystal required to craft now costs 1 instead of 2. They also have reduced the amount of Obsidian Voidstone, now costs 8 from 10. Lazarus tuning orbs have had the corrupted lodestone reduced to 1 from 3. And Genesis corrupted lodestone is again 1 down from 2. So again, you're needing a lot less of this stuff, which is really nice. And when these become craftable, there's going to be lots of players who've saved it up that don't necessarily craft with them or haven't got the level to yet that might want to make a good bit of money from this. So watch the trading post when this update goes live on your server, as you might be able to pick up some of these very, very cheap. Now, we've also seen mutated tuning orb changes. The runestones required to craft these are down to 5 from 10, so they've been halved. And same with the powerful gemstone. It now costs 5 of those for the gemstone dusts rather than 10, which again is good because they are quite expensive. And of course, the amount of chisels is now down to 1 from 2. Again, I really like this change. We still can only craft once per week, but the requirements for the craft is a lot more generous, and it would basically mean that we get 2 weeks worth from what we would have had as 1 week before. So it's good. I would just like to see a few more orbs be available, maybe. We'll see how that goes down the pipeline, but for now, the crafting materials have been reduced. Now, we've also seen a few general fixes, AI fixes in these expeditions. Now, they have also added a really important thing here, almost like a treasure hunt to New World in Eternum after the holiday season. So it says to stimulate the post-holiday economy, we have added a limited time rare drop called a bag of juniper berries, which gives players coins and juniper berries. It has the potential reward to be between 50 and 150 coins per acquisition, and you can find 3 per day. So with that, I don't know what the juniper berries actually do, whether they're just something that you can eat as a type of food or whether they go into a recipe. I'm not entirely sure yet, so we'll have a look at those. But you also are going to get 50 to 150 coins 3 times a day. Worst case scenario, you're coming up with 150. Best case scenario, 450 for just playing the game and having fun. Can't go wrong with that. I like that idea, and I do like that there's some natural coin flow coming into the game. Even if it is a small amount, still some coming into that economy is going to be really, really good. Now, they've also fixed some more issues, such as the Onyx. You can now use the Onyx when using earrings via a timeless shard, which you couldn't do so before. That's been fixed now, which is nice. And then you will see in open world, they fixed an issue with the following elite strongholds not consistently applying the appropriate affliction to players that enter visually affected areas. So Mangled Heights, Busty, Inferior and Superior, Merkguard and Malevolence. Also, Siren's Stand has revised the chest placement of several elite chests to be closer to their associated named enemies. And in Mangled Heights, you've slightly moved 1 elite chest at the Mangled Pox Gate. So you might see a few changes there in those elite zones. Should still be fairly accessible, fairly easy to run through, but you might just have to actually fight the mobs in Siren's Strand now, because there was a few that you could kind of grab if someone kited the mob away and then you swap it out and such. Now you might actually have to fight it because he's going to be in the way quite a lot. And UI UX, you've just fixed some issues where sometimes group chat would break after exiting a house. Still nothing here on the issue where you go into Outpost Rush when you come back into the normal world. You can't type in global, you can't type in faction chat. Hopefully that does get addressed, because that's quite an annoying one for me. I have to relog after my 2 OPR games each day, which is kind of annoying. So I would hope that that gets fixed fairly sharpish, but we'll see before that comes out as well. I wouldn't be shocked if we don't have a 4th and final notes maybe before this finally releases, and then of course the full notes when it goes into live as well. So I'll keep you guys posted on all of that good stuff. That is going to be it for today's video, guys. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Like I said at the beginning of today's video, if you haven't done so already, please do go down below and drop a subscribe to the channel, as it really does help to support me and my content here on YouTube. I do upload brand new world content every single day, and I would love to have you guys here as part of my community. Other than that, guys, that is going to be it for today. So please do make sure that you drop me a like if you have found this video useful. Trying to keep you guys in the loop with everything that's going on in the world of Eternum and New World, so you can stay on top form and obviously stay up to date with all of the latest and greatest. Other than that, that is going to be it. So again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your time, and I will catch you again tomorrow with a brand new upload to the channel. Take care, guys, and peace.